Hello and welcome once more to another Learn Sanskrit video, and today we are doing lesson 9 E3, so it's the third exercise video for lesson 9. And here on the screen there we have our usual PDFs. You have one PDF here for the exercises themselves, where you can fill in if you want, print it out and fill them in, and try to solve the exercises before you watch the video, and then you can check the answers on the other PDF here, which lists not only the answer on the fourth line but also the actual exercise itself on the first line, so you have everything on the same page there. Alright, so you can download that now if you want, because there's a link in the description, so you can just go there. Another possibility, if you want to do the exercises before you watch the rest of the video, then you can just hand copy the 2 pages that I'm going to write on here. So I'll keep them up for 5 seconds each, and then you can stop the video 2 times and jot them down on your own piece of paper. 5 seconds for the first page now. And 5 seconds for the second page. And now let's start solving them. So we have an elephant and a horse and a father. Now let's see. So the first thing we do when we come from the English here, we are doing our eswo line first. So we are grouping the nouns, the elephant, and then we have an and here, which operates on the 3 nouns. So but we only have one and. So we are just stacking the 3 nouns, and then we are putting the and last, and since there is only one, we have an A syntax, and we are connecting words. We're not connecting clauses, we're not connecting sentences, we're connecting words, and in this case nouns. So we have 3 nouns that we are connecting with our conjunction and then we have the verb, and then the question is, well, it's about going, but who goes? We have 3 individuals here, so it must be plural, so they all go. So we are clarifying the verb, the implicit subject in the verb here. And we always do this, of course, on the eswo line, the English with Sanskrit word order line. Okay, and then we have the boy. Similarly, we are grouping the article and the substantive here itself, and then we are clarifying the verb, he comes, like that. So now let's do our transliteration. So we have a gadya, and of course it's nominative singular, so it's as part of the subject of the sentence, gadya hup, and we have an ashwa hup, and we have a janaka, and then we have a cha. and they are gacchati, but we need the plural form, gacchanti. Okay, so the boy, he comes, so we have a balaha, also nominative singular, balaha, and he is coming. So it's something with agacha, but we have him in third person singular, so it's the sort of form we are most used to, agachati. And we do our deva line here. Oh, well, gajaha. Ashvaha. Jana, oh whoops, Jana Kaha. Cha. And then we need a gachati. Gachati. End of sentence, and we should have had, should be a semicolon here and here as well. I usually do that on the eswo line to keep the consistency. And then we have just the balaha here, balaha. Agachati. So he's, instead of coming, he's going. Or how do you say? Just the opposite. Instead of going, he's coming. So he's doing the opposite of what the elephant and the horse and the father does, or do, what they do. Alright, so Gajahap, Ashvahap, Janakahap, Cha, Gachati. Gachanti. Oh, it's a typo. Gachanti. Please. Let's see, we have to have an N here in between there. N. Gachanti. Well, it's not perfect, but like that, better. And then balaha, agachati. Okay, good. Number 2, they two, F and I fall. The teacher stands. Okay, so we do our eswo line here. They two, F, I, and then so the subject of, or the components that we are connecting with and, they are they two and I. So we have just one and, which means we only want one cha in the Sanskrit. So therefore it's another a syntax, a here, not B but A. So we have, but in this case, unlike in number 1 here, up here, we are connecting pronouns, not substantives. or like not these nouns up here. So there's a little difference here. Okay, and then we are falling, and of course the falling we can do like that, but who are falling? Well, they two and I, so it's 2 plus 1, right? So it must be all of them, like representing plural. But then when it comes to person, we have third person here, they two, those guys over there. But then I have an I here also, and the rule then with and is that the first person trumps or wins over or overrides any other person. So we have to have we here, not they. So it's we all fall. Okay, and then the teacher, okay, we are grouping the subject here. And then we are clarifying the verb he stands. And our transliteration then, they to F, that's te, pronoun, and aham for I, and then we have a chup, and we have we all fall, so it's something with patati, but we have to modify it for first person plural, so we have patamaha instead. Okay, and then we have a teacher, we have an acharya, and then he's standing, so tish ta T. So it's retroflex S and the retroflex T, and then the normal dental T, or normal, but okay, and then we are rendering it in Devanagari just to be complete. Chup, pop, ta, na, ha. End of sentence, and then we have the teacher, cha, we have the rya here, rya hup, and the standing tishta t, like that. Alright, so that's done. So let's proofread it. Oh, there should be, well, it was sloppily done here. Sloppy. More clear. So we have our viram here that terminates the M, so it's not ahama but just aham. Okay, good. And let's do number 3. So he and the king. So our eswo line then. He and the king. So we are mixing. We have one pronoun and one substantive, or like a common noun. And then the and. But then I forgot to mention this. We have a B syntax on the and, so I cannot do this, because a B syntax indicates that we want one and for each word that we are connecting. So we must write he and the king and we have to beautify it with the B here to explain it, or to tell a teacher that we have understood what the and is, the syntax of the and. Alright, so he and the king and then we have to clarify the subject, or the verb, I mean. We have to clarify the verb. And it's about conquering. And who is conquering? Well, they are both in third person, right? So, and there are two. It's one of he and one of the king, and so there are two. So they two conquer. And then here we have 3 terms in the second sentence here, so, and we have no indication on the or, so that means we are using syntax A, which is just one wa in the Sanskrit. So she, you, I, or. And then we have to do the running. But who is running now? Well, we have 3 terms, right? But then the conjunction is not an and, it's an or. And our general rule is that the subject closest to the verb decides how we are going to conjugate the verb. So it is I run. And we have the same rules in English, so it's not. So if we were to have the sentence here, for instance, she or I run, then we could easily see that it's I who takes over, because it's closer to the verb. But if we would put it on the other way around, I or she runs. Okay, so that's okay. Then we are going to do our transliteration. Then he, saha, cha, and the king, he's an nripaha. And another cha. And then we have the conquering here, jayati, but for 2 persons. Jayataho. And then we are having a woman, or at least a feminine, an object with a feminine pronoun here. She, twam, aham, or va, and then I am running, right? So dhavati, although for dhavami, I run, like that. So saha cha nripaha cha jayataha sa tvam aham va dhavami. And we are writing it out. Saha cha nripaha. My drawing tablet is a little gliding on my table, but all right. But I'm very happy having this. I think it's really nice to be able to do this on the screen like this instead of doing it on paper and filming it like that. I think this is, because here it's easier to erase and sort of fix mistakes and like that. Okay, so we have the first sentence, and then we are doing sa, long ah here, and we have tvam, and we have an aham, and then comes our va here, and our first person verb, like that. I think that should do the trick. Sa cha sa tvam, sorry, sa tvam aham va dhavami. Okay, that's the first page, looking good, and we have the second half done. Alright, so here they do and eat. Okay, let's just, we have an adverb here, and they too, another pronoun, they too, but this time it's neuter. So they to eat, so therefore the eating is done by they two. Okay, they to eat. And then we have an and, which is connecting eat and drink. So it's still a word connector, but the word type is verbs as opposed to nouns or pronouns. So we are just stacking the verbs one after the other, and then we are putting our and last there, and we still have an asyntax because we only have one and, or we only have one cha in the Sanskrit, so it becomes one and here on the eswo line, the English with Sanskrit word order line. Okay, and then we are done there, and we have another adverb there, and they all, this time we have a masculine pronoun, clarifying the verb naturally to harmonize with the pronoun there. So okay, so now let's do the transliteration here. Atra. So they to end, that's te. They to eat, so we have kadati, but for two, they to kadataha. And similarly pibati with the same ending, and a cha. And tatra, there. They all m, and that's also the te, surprisingly. One is in plural and the other one is in dual. So this one is in dual and this one is in plural. And the last one here is a masculine and the other one is a neuter. Okay, and they all stand, so we have tishtati, but for plural, so tishtanti instead. Okay, let's check this now. Atra te khadataha pibataha cha tatra te tishtanti. Okay, looking good. Okay, and then now we just render it in Sanskrit or in Devanagari here. A little too long there. Ka dattaha. Okay. And we have pibataha. Pibataha. And cha. End of sentence. And then we have tatra, another te, meaning something else. And then we have the standing action, which is supplied by the many masculine objects, tishtanti, whoever they are. End of sentence. Okay, so we have atra te kadataha pibataha cha tatra te tishtanti. Number 5. We only have one or, and it's connecting you and she. So we only have one wa in the Sanskrit. It's syntax A. And then there's some remembering now. So who is remembering? Well, the conjunction is or, so that means that the closest subject to the verb is going to decide the conjunction of the verb. So So who remembers? She remembers. But now we have another conjunction and here, which doesn't group any pronouns, but it groups or it connects the verbs here. So we do another stacking here. So maybe I should, okay, so just to indicate a little differently here. So this is the and, the words connected by and then so she remembers, she asks, and we only have one and, so it's syntax A. Good, and we're grouping the teacher. And he knows, the implicit subject is he knows, he speaks, and this is another A syntax there. Alright, so let's transliteration now. Tvam sa va smarati. Remembering is smarati and asking is prichati. Then we have an and here, cha. And we have a teacher, charyaham. And what does he do? Well, he's presumably a pandit of some sort. He knows his stuff, so, and he likes to talk. So he so we have bodhati, he knows, and vadati, he speaks, and another cha there. So let's see if I got that right. Tvam sa va smarati prichati cha acharya bodhati vadati cha. Okay, and we do our Devanagari exercise. Tvam sa va, oops, I should have upper stroke there as well. Okay, smarati and whoops, prichati cha. Charya hop what does he know? He knows odati. Bodhati, Vadati, Vadati. Cha. Okay, Tvam Sa Va Smarati Prichati Cha Acharya Bodhati, no, Bodhati, Vadati Cha. Okay, number 6, the king and the teacher. So we're grouping the king there, and we have a connection with and, so we stack him up, line them up, line all the ducks in a row. The teacher, aha, okay, oh, I forgot my own. Okay, so what we have here is we have an explicit syntax on the English line, where we are supplying to and connecting 3 terms. So the terms that we are connecting are the king, the teacher, and these are all same type of objects. These are all nouns, or common nouns, substantives. And when we do this, we have a rule that whenever we are using more than one and in English, we're always using syntax be in the Sanskrit. So when we're doing our eswo line now, we are preparing for 3 cha. So that's another way of indicating it would have been to do the king, comma, the teacher, and then put the b on that and, but this is an alternative. This is more like a clean, without all these indexes. So we have 2 ways of indicating B syntax. Okay, so the king and B, the teacher and the elephant. And then what are they doing? Well, they are standing, but who are they? Well, they are 1 king and 1 teacher and 1 elephant, so that's 3. And they all in third person. They're all in third person, right? Yes, so they all. So it's plural. They all stand. We 2, however, we are sitting. So we 2 sit. Like that, okay. Okay, and then we usually don't have any big letters there. That's one of the trademarks on the eswo line. No big letters, unless it's a proper name. If it's Rama or Krishna or Sita or Radha or something like that, then we can have it. But otherwise, no initial uppercase. Okay, B. Let's see then. So we have the king. We have the nrippahap cha, and then we have the acharya cha, and we have the gajja cha, and we have the standing tishta, and then we have to do the plural third person there, tishtanti. Okay, and then we too, so we have to do our awam here, awam pronoun, and then we are sitting, so sidati, but for two, so sid avaha, sid avaha. Okay, let's proofread this. Nripaha cha acharyaha cha gajjaha cha tishtanti, and then avam sidavaha. Okay, that looks good. So we only have to render it in Devanagari. Nripaha cha, long a there, acharyaha, cha, gajjaha cha, and then we have the standing action here, tishtanti. Like that. End of sentence, and then a long arm. And another one. Avam, and then we have a little sitting action, also with a long a there in the middle. Oh, whoops. Well, that's better. End of sentence. So nripaha cha acharyaha cha gajjaha cha tishtanti avam sidavaha. Okay, so that's seems to be good enough. There was something I could have, I don't remember, we should have talked about something else here. What was that? Well, yes, there was, maybe this was on the first page. I don't remember. But anyway, yes, it's number 3. Okay, so let's do just a quick last point here, and that is that in number 3 there we have a peculiar. I just wanted to point that out. So that we have 2 sentences here. He and the king conquer, and then she, you, or I run. And in the first sentence we have syntax B, but in the second sentence we have not syntax B but syntax A, and this may some people may think like that. Well, why don't you have B syntax if it's on the same line, if it's written by the same person, wouldn't the stylistic thing be the same? And I think that's a good comment. I mean, so if one person uses syntax B for one sentence, maybe he should do it in the other sentence as well. So it depends on the situation. But one consideration here in number 3 is that in number 3 here we have 3 subjects like that, and that would require 3 or 3 ba. And this is in contrast to the first situation here where there is only 2. So here one one reasoning might be simply that, okay, so we 2 and is okay, but not 3 and or 3 or. But yet another consideration here is that there is a in the first sentence there is a potential thing happening here with saha and nripa. So if I were to remove this cha, then we would have the words saha and nripa stacked on top of each other, or just like beside each other. And the thing is that in Sanskrit that particular juxtaposition, okay, so if I write here saha nripa, that is normally read, we haven't covered this yet, but that is normally read as that king, where saha is sort of like an demonstrative pronoun, or it's like works as a modifier. Which king? Well, that king. Which king? The beautiful king. So it's like an adjective, or you can say it's like determining more. So in order to prevent those 2 exact words from appearing next to each other, then it might be good to have syntax B to sort of more explicitly denote that these are 2 separate entities. But of course, in any case, that consideration might have forced a B syntax on the sentence 2 as well. Anyway, but anyway, it's just, I think it's interesting to talk about these things, because it's about composition. It's about how to make this not only correctly in a grammatical sense, but it also like to add clarity, so it makes it more readable. All right, so that I think concludes this last exercise here for lesson 9, and I hope you will have a great day, and that I will be seeing you again in another lesson. Bye bye.